So I'm trying to wake up. The nights are just torture. You know, a lot of this, there's a lot of cognitive dissonance in my story, right? A lot of confusion and a lot of me being confused, and I wonder how much, I wish I could sit down and talk with someone, interview me for 2 hours, and us talk about how this has all gone down, how my healthcare has gone for the past 45 years. And there's been so much cognitive dissonance on my end, so much confusion, and I really wonder how much is gaslighting and how much is negligence and how much is me being made into a medical scapegoat. And because, on the outside, if you don't know the whole story, what it sounds like is it sounds like all these medical mysteries, and why can't they help her, and why can't they figure so many things out? And, a lot of this hasn't been, rocket science. And I don't know, like I remain trapped in this cognitive dissonance, this confusion, like, why aren't I getting the help I need? But I think a big part of this story, my story, is I've been made into a scapegoat and a punching bag. And I think doctors collectively can make you into a scapegoat when you've been constantly um, misdiagnosed or repeatedly medically injured, and they will start to label you as the problem and blame you, and they're resentful towards you, and they'll treat you like you're the problem. And then there's certain kind of abuse happening, and different abuse and negligence. And it's hard to determine, where does them not knowing what's going on and gaslighting and abuse begin, because these lines are really blurred, right? And when this has gone on for years and years, you know you start out as this innocent person for decades, innocent and very compliant, and 100% trusting of your doctors. I mean, I can tell you examples of when I was trusting my doctors and they were actively hurting me. And I am so kind-hearted and so trusting and so dumb and so easily gaslighted that I would just continue to trust them and believe in them when I was being actively harmed. And I can give you, example after example. And, my former family doctor, doctors were drugging the hell out of me, trying to get me to sleep. At what point do you realize that there's something medically wrong with this woman, that she's not sleeping? At what point do you realize that the prescribing has now become dangerous when you're giving this woman 9 sleeping pills every night? Like, where does, like, it's all these lines are blurred. Like, what are you doing? So you've got this woman so drugged up that she can't drive anymore. Now you're going to her house and bringing pills in little baggies, not even prescriptions anymore. My doctor was delivering pills to my house because I was too impaired and too sleep deprived to function and drive anymore. And I'm wondering, and I'm in my house, and he's here walking around my house looking at all my stuff, like looking at all my interesting, little antiques and fun stuff and art, and I'm sitting there thinking, like, either he's really nice and he's doing me a favor, or this is, something's wrong here. Why is he here? Like, all these blurred lines, and you're wondering, like, is this someone being really nice, or is something wrong here? Is this, at one point in that working relationship, I really wondered if he was going to try something on me. And I didn't look like this. This was, how many years ago? I think less than 10 years ago. And I looked like I was 35 years old. I didn't look like this. And beaten down and like an old woman. I looked really young for my age. And I really wondered, is he going to try something on me? Or is he really just really kind and caring and going out of his way for me? Like, there's all these blurred lines, and, and you're in a state of cognitive dissonance, never really knowing what's really happening here. And, I don't know. I sit here day after day wondering, how much am I the problem? Like, do I have no communication skills? Do I speak and no one understands me? How much am I the problem as a patient walking in and I'm in crisis? Do I have no communication skills? Does no one understand what I'm saying? Like, because that's a possibility. Am I so disconnected? Am I so dysfunctional and I have no communication skills and I can't get across what's happening, what's medically happening to me? Am I the problem? And from what I see, most of the people out there on social media and in person can understand what I'm saying. So I don't think I am. I don't think I have extremely screwed up communication skills. Is it because that I'm angry, I'm agitated, I'm exhausted? Is it the way I present myself? That is because this has been dragged out for so many years. They did this to me. I've had less than 4 hours of sleep last night. I'm in distress. I'm in pain. I'm exhausted. My brain can't work like a normal brain when I've had a couple hours of sleep, 2 or 3 or 4 hours of sleep. You're not going to see, years ago, 15 years ago, I'm in distress sleeping 3 hours a night, and I'm still kind. I'm still the compliant, docile, easily gaslighted me. I'm still a bootlicker, I'm still, you know, I, I feel like me, the real me, has been beaten out of me. Like I'm literally being tortured here. So do I present as a harsh, agitated, angry person? Yeah, I'm desperate. I'm in crisis. They brought me to this. They created this. They created what you're looking at. Someone with terrified eyes and someone beaten down and someone traumatized. They did this to me. I've lost everything. I've lost my full-time job, my part-time job, my car. I've lost all my friends. I've lost everything because of this, because of healthcare. And then they'll hear you say that. They'll hear you talk like that, and they're angry. They're resentful. And they will lash out. They'll lash out at you. And it's all covert, right? And it's not, I think people are out to I think doctors are out to get me. I'm paranoid. It's not that. I know the deal. I know what's happening. It's human nature. Why not be the hero in this story instead of just one more doctor not doing the right thing, or one more doctor being resentful and lashing out at someone that the entire system has failed? Why not be the hero in this story? You're going to beat me down until I'm no longer. Why take that route? It's making a scapegoat out of somebody, right? And no shade on my current doctor. I don't know him. But I'm sitting here waiting, and he doesn't want to be pressured. Nobody wants to be pressured. When I was in absolute, I was stopping breathing nonstop at night. My oxygen was down to 70. I needed help now. And I still feel that today. I needed help now. I was stopping breathing nonstop. No one wanted to be pressured. No one could believe that doctors didn't want to be pressured. Doctors couldn't believe that I was actually in medical crisis. Doctors don't want to respond to pressure. Okay, well, what do you want? What do you want? I'm in medical crisis. At that time, oxygen down to 70. I'm in crisis. What do you want? What do you want? I fought for my life to get into the hospital, to get assessed for severe sleep apnea. It took July, August, September, October, November, December, January, more than 8 months. 8 months, and I was suicidal all the time. No one wanted to be under pressure. Doctors didn't believe that I was in crisis. This is just ongoing. It's torture. It's mental torture. I feel like my head is breaking. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Where does it end? Like, I don't blame them. I don't blame them for not wanting to be with someone angry. Hell, this has been going on for since I was 15 years old. 25 years old. It got worse and worse. Where does it end? Until I'm no longer here? Till I can't take it anymore? I don't believe this is rocket science. I believe these are just, and it's a collective mess in my medical records, right? They create this entire false narrative about you. I think if a lot of long-term misdiagnosed people could see the mess, could see all the derogatory language in their medical records, they would choke. They would just